Wow, it was 269 people. It was 269 people.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hey, babe.
What should I tell everyone?
There's a new live stream that YouTube hates me and they're censoring me. They hate me. I just started a new live stream. You're on live right now.
Oh, I'm on live? Oh, my stars.
Yeah, you're on live.
So tell
them there's a new live. Just tell them to click out of it. There's a new live.
Okay, I'll do that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Love you, babe. Bye.
Love you too. Bye-bye.
Can you see this one? Now I'm up. Okay, so you guys, YouTube hates me. There was 500 people in there? Or
269. This is another one. It went to something else after the other one.
Wow.
So
that was crazy, y'all.
That one, yeah, it's gone.
Can you just delete it?
I deleted it, yeah, but it still lives until people refresh. Like I'm in my account, okay. So I'm trying to get it to refresh, but it won't.
Well, I'll give it a few seconds then,
yeah.
Right? I'll play the theme song one more time. Okay, there's 114 people in here now.
Yeah.
Alert from Google Chrome. Lol, alrighty then.
How are y'all? Think that's good enough for the musica? What's up, y'all? How y'all doing? How we looking?
Let me look.
No bueno.
149.
Okay. Okay, I know it, guys. It just shut off on me. I was going to click you guys, on stride, and of course, YouTube hates me. That's okay. We're gonna suffer through it. So Monday, there was a bunch of chatter. Monday was live, huh? I was dropping them fiscal bombs, wasn't I?
You were.
Wasn't I? I was on fire, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I was like Jordan, game 6. Like I had the flu, huh? I was like in the zone with the news, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I know what you're expecting tonight, right?
Some more bombs.
You want like back-to-back like the Rockets in here, don't you? Like Golden State. Like you want to see like the jewels shining, right?
Hey, everybody. I'm not going to be able to text a whole bunch tonight, so I'm just going to verbally say hi.
Why you can't text? Oh,
It's moving up my shoulder now.
No.
Yeah, that's why I got it. When I woke up just now, it's like really bad. So
you got to go to the doctor. That's neurosurgery time.
Yeah, I can't even.
Okay, y'all, please pray for Miss BB. We're having some issues at home.
Here, can you open that?
Of course. Is that the one I made earlier?
This is the one you made. It's kind of sweet. So
I know, right? Like you're going to try to dilute it?
Yeah.
Okay. So Tuesday, we know about Kirshner's deal. You might as well let Daisy in. She's just gonna complain.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys, well, you want me to let Daisy in?
I'm gonna get up there.
Okay. As soon as we let Daisy in, because she's whining, she wants to say hello to everybody.
Come on, Daisy.
Come on, Daisy.
Could be in a little brat. Come on.
Come on. You heard the theme song. You know what it is. You know what it is. Ladies first.
I am April Beebe.
And that's Daisy. Tell them who you are. Who are you? Who are you? Come on. Come on. Who are you?
Oh, Lord.
Who are you?
Look, y'all wanted to see Daisy.
Y'all want to see her?
She looked just like her dad, dreaded up.
Who are you?
Snarf, snarf, snarf.
Snarf, snarf. Daisy Cakes in the house. Say, I am Daisy. Okay, I guess that means.
She gonna start the show.
I am Mr. Stop. Brando. And welcome to the status of the Iraqi Dinar IQD chat and the world news. Daisy, you're out of here. Bye. Go. You're out of here. She go?
I don't know.
You're out of here, Daisy. Bye. Okay. So, a continuation from Monday. We had so many bombs to drop on Monday that I thought we were having like the Holocaust right now. Not to give a bad term to a bad thing, but I thought we were going down right there. Like, we had so much going on, right? And everybody was kind of like the last couple of days, we were on Twitter. We were in the private Telegram chat. Shout out to Patreon. Shout out to Mr. Brando's Club on Patreon. Major shout out to them and major shout out to Shamans because, dude, without all the bombs that I had seen come through there, you'd have thought I was in Pakistan.
Who? Shout out to the last person.
Bethany, Shimus, the Kangaguru Club, Link Bear, Jason the Body. You know what I'm saying? All these people coming forward. Dennis Frazier, Daza, Sweet Bay. I mean, everybody. You coming with the heat with the Crip Nose the other day. You know what I'm saying? You minding your business? Is you minding your business? You don't know what I'm talking about because you ain't in the club. Where at?
I'm minding my business.
I'm minding my business. Now, shout out to the club, gang, gang. Shout out to Mr. Brown's club, gang, gang. Shout out to this news, gang, gang. Now, I promised bombs. I'm bringing bombs, and guess what? Can you get out the sound effects for me? Can someone get the sound effects for me? I can't put them everywhere. Can I borrow some sound effects?
Where are you gonna get those from?
I'm gonna put it like somewhere. Can I put it like?
Don't
right
you
here?
have them on your iPad?
On my iPad, but I can't read this and this. I gotta put it right here.
Wait.
Where are the sound effects on here? Hold on.
Are you about to tell us we can run to the bank?
Nah, ain't no bank running now. Stop tripping. Haterade, man.
I ain't no haterade.
Haterade, man.
Wait, I'm hurting right now. I need one. I need millies. Millies.
What you need is to pay attention to this news.
I'm waiting for
and
the bombs to drop.
You waiting? Is you there? Is you
I'm
live?
I'm live.
All right, y'all. I was hoping for my sound effects to reload, but since it's not, I'm going forward. Iraq signed a final agreement worth $1.7 billion with the Chinese company for engineering and construction and the petroleum to build, operate, facilitate, to process natural gas extracted with crude oil in the field of Giant Hellfey. So you got to imagine this. So you got a Chinese company coming into Iraq, right? We know that I don't want to get into the trade, but we know that China is a key component in world geopolitical politics right now, right? Bomb number one. That's a mini bomb. That's an IUD right there. Okay, that's not even a bomb.
Okay, go ahead.
What?
Go ahead.
What was your question?
I can't remember.
I know, because there's so many bombs out there. You're just like, you don't even know where to go right now.
You said something about China. So I was like, huh? What? DJ Khaled.
Okay, hold on. No. Yeah.
Okay, so.
All right, so now I got bombs. Okay, I don't want to read that one just yet. Okay, now, remember I told you guys what it was shaping up to be in the Gulf was a major escalation in conflict with Pompeo dropping everything he had to do in Germany and everything else and running straight to Iraq, right? So everybody kept saying, what was Pompeo's urgent need in Iraq and what was he doing? I'm going to get to it, but Iran says it's reducing its commitments to the Iran nuclear deal. Now, I posted it on Twitter and I posted it in Telegram, but a lot of people thought that what that meant is that Iran was shrinking what it was going to do to kind of like adhere more to what was going on, right?
Mhm.
Like they were going to mind and behave, right? Like they were going to do right. In a speech, Iran's president warned the remaining parts of the deal of his plan. What he basically said is he's going to renege on everything he's doing. He's going to mine plutonium. He's going to do his thing. He's ready for war. All Americans basically can really just kiss his backside, and he's ready to go to it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So basically, Iran is ramping up for war. And I didn't want to say this like this because I didn't believe it from so many other people, but Iran is ramping up for war. And I believe that because of the shape of everything that's happened geopolitically,
Mm-hmm.
that you're going to see a lot of deals made, that it's kind of like the green light for what's about to happen, like the United Coalitions that happened before in Iraq. I think you're going to see something similar happen in Iran. And Cabinet held its regular session on Tuesday. I told everybody that I didn't know how really Ramadan really worked as far as the cabinet was concerned. Found out. I tweeted it. I telegrammed it. I told her. I actually Facebooked it. I told everybody that it seems that Parliament is still in session during Ramadan, right? So nothing changes there. Matter of fact, Sistani's office is still open. We talked about that. Now, the Council of Ministers approved the extension of the cabinet resolution for the year 2018 and recovery of funds obtained. So now they're saying basically that now it's okay for them to go after the monies that were lost in years past. I told you, was that important? I didn't know whether it was or was not.
Somebody asked a question. Shoot, where did it go? I'm sorry. I had it in my head. Did Trump just issue sanctions on Iran?
Yes. Trump just issued new sanctions on Iran as far as precious metals, aluminum, steel, more exports. He's sanctioned them to the hilt. That's another bomb. Now, you got to think about this now. Why would Trump sanction Iran even further after sanctioning their oil? He's basically wrapping both hands around the Iranian neck and squeezing the life out of their economy. Already fledgling economy. They say hyperinflation is almost to the status of Zimbabwe and Iran right now. Okay? Now, the Energy Committee of the Ways Governance Council stressed during the periodic meeting of the petroleum of the financial entitlements, the province cannot give up its dues in the petrodollar. There was a lot of guru trash going out there that said the petrodollar had to go before you could see a RV. It was some old mess from a bunch of old people that have been involved in the currency for too long that don't read the news. Okay? The petrodollar's there to stay until they figure out a different way. Okay? I'm just telling you all that. Hate it, love it, don't love it, want to create a new financial system, I can dig it. But until the old financial system is mastered and moved out of the way, the system is a solution. I want to see certain things happen, and a strong commitment to the United States and the petrodollar, to me, as far as Iraq is concerned, is a huge plus because it gives them a metric, a peg for things to come. Now, they point out the current situation amid the suspension of most strategic services, project and expand the powers of the future to maintain framework of the relations between the federal government and the local governments in the management of oil and gas file. That's important because you want to maintain the stability of Iraq is oil and gas, right? So as long as they maintain a strong oil and gas presence, everything else will be fine. A few hours after the departure of Pompeo to Iraq, Pentagon confirms its readiness to war in the Middle East. Now, I told you before, and I'll say it one more time, I thought it was going to be civil war, but it seems to be that Trump is playing no games with Iran, okay? Matter of fact, I'm going to drop this one again right now. The reason why I'm telling you guys that's a bomb is because they submerged nuclear capabilities out to that strait in Iran. Now, you would think, why would they send this much force and heat out to where the oil comes in and out of that Gulf, right? Because really what's happening is right now, Trump is aligning himself, and I'll show you geopolitically in just a few minutes, where he's aligning himself with the region, with the governments at hand, to let everybody know from all the way from the EU to, let's just say, Russia, China, everybody. I'm going to draw the dots. I'm going to put them all together, and I'm going to show you in a pretty little bow what's happening right now in the Middle East, okay? You got any questions? You want a fist bump? Want to give me some of that? There you go. Hold on.
And PJ made a comment. PJ Peep says, I don't care what anyone says. I feel sorry for the Iranian people. The people are the ones who suffer the most due to stupid governments.
What? That's true of every freaking government of everywhere in the world. Think of the government, the oppression that you live in right here in the United States. And this is the best system on earth. I would rather live in the United States with all of its faults and problems than anywhere else in the world right now, because even though it's jacked up in a lot of ways, it's still a better system than anywhere you've ever seen, right? And you're right. You know, the Iranian people are going to suffer, but you know what? Hopefully in this tragedy there can be triumph, and hopefully this regime will be toppled, and hopefully, and I'm really saying hopefully, if it is within the next 6 months to a year, not only will you see Iraq come back to the stage, you'll see the whole Middle East come back to the international stage. Everybody, could you imagine that superpower right there as far as trade, oil, gas? I mean, everything going on right now, natural gas. Could you imagine the power that they would have? That's amazing. He reveals the details of a surprise visit. Pompeo told the whole world why he was in Iraq, and it was exactly what I tweeted on Twitter. He said we talked to them about the importance of Iraq ensuring its ability to protect the Americans in their country. So remember, the asset is Americans, right? And American interests. So he wanted to go in there, and basically he asked a body, who you gonna run with? You gonna run with us? You gonna run with Iran? Okay? That's basically what he went there and told them. And with that, if you run with us, I'm gonna show you what we're gonna give you. If you run with Iran, I'm gonna show you what's gonna happen to you too. So you're gonna have a choice. That's a bomb. That's why Pompeo was there, a clean-cut decision. So all these people out there was it for the good? Yes. Was it for something bad? No. Well, Iraq has got so close, and now America's taking them closer. You see what I'm saying? America's taking them closer. So now Iraq has no choice. They can do whatever they want to do with Iran. But there's conflict. There's issues. And Pompeo, as well as Trump, has sent a clear message that our interest is America first, Iran sovereignty second, and peace in the Middle East third. And that is a huge, huge, huge message to Iran.
So when you say peace in the Middle East, but by doing what he's doing, it's going to cause a war, basically, right?
What happened was, what do you call this? Tea? You call this the tea because you're the tea lady. You tell me all about the teas and the receipts, don't you? So you said like this is tea. The tea was Iran bombed Israel. Trump had a pledge to Israel to protect them for everything that it was worth. Israel went to the United States and said, hey, Iran be picking on us. We don't like that. We already had an arms deal with Israel. And guess what? Trump said, if they keep messing with you, we're going to mess back. But what they did was they messed back with us because what's his name? Rouhani was running his mouth. Rouhani running his mouth got him in trouble the first time. So what happened was Trump said, Pompeo, you get your butt to the Middle East to go talk to Iraq and sure everything up and make sure that they understand either you running with America. So I don't care what anybody tells me right now. Saleh's commitment, Mahani's commitment, everybody in Iraq's commitment, besides Maliki and the rest of these idiots, is with America and Iran being sovereign.
Okay.
There should be no doubt until proven otherwise. Now, there's another thing you got to understand.
Delvin said big bully.
Who, me?
No, I think they're talking about America. Delvin McBride said big bully.
Oh, you darn right they're a big bully. Listen, Washington told them earlier, Iran, that's why Pompeo was sent to Iraq. Listen, I'm about to sanction Iran to the hilt, right? So y'all cool with that, right? Imagine this. I'm a bully, right? So I'm going to be like, look, you want that phone right there? You're like, yeah. Okay, well, you keep that phone. We'll take that glass. So basically, he went over there and gave them ultimatums. And he put him on the spot. That's why Mahani was not allowed in America. They were ramping up for an escalation in the Middle East, and they had to know where he stood.
Hey, Daisy.
And when he told them where he stood, they allowed him. They told him days later, now you can come to America. Now, is that an RB? No. Is it an RI? No. But it's a true commitment to what we are trying to accomplish as a collective. So now you've got a clear path. So now you know it's us against them, right? Okay. So You wonder what's going on in Iran. I'm going to send you this right here. I'm going to send Miss Bibi a diagram, I guess you could call this, of why we are having the conflict with Iran and what is up for grabs. I think to understand what you're looking at, you got to understand what's up for grabs. Iran has nuclear capabilities as far as research reactor. They have enrichment centers. They have military complex and a uranium mine. They have basically all the steps to make a nuclear bomb or make nuclear missiles, right? So there's no one else basically in that region that has that type of firepower. So now you're going to put in the hands of a bunch of people that have basically told everybody that we don't like America. We're going to give them nuclear arms because of past regimes. Now, a lot of you are going to go out there and say, this is Obama's fault. This is Jim Carrey's fault. Actually, no. This fault goes all the way back to the 1950s when America allowed Iran into the nuclear business. So you can say what you want. I've done my homework on this. America gave Iran its nuclear capabilities back in the 50s, and they gave them the reactor. They showed them mine plutonium and everything else. Obama might have screwed it up even worse. You can call him the devil. You can say whatever you want, but he was not the cause. It's the effect of what happened before. Okay? So I'm going to say this.
Yeah.
Forward this to Miss Bibi because she is so damn fine. Ooh. If y'all don't know, man, she's so baddie. Okay? Now, I thought I would distract you guys. Now, I would say, okay, look, I just showed you what was going on right there. Now, there was another article. Another one. And guess who it was about? Who's that ugly man right there? DJ Khaled, Ali Lock. Ali Lock stay in the news.
Ali Oxen free.
No, he about to be free. They're about to kick his butt free. They said that the current central bank governor on the bear full responsibilities of the effect of the currency auctions. Again, another article came out between when I told you an article came out and another article came out saying, you can ask your favorite guru this. Well, if he's such a good guy and Allah's doing such a great job and he's for the people, why do they keep trying to blame everything on poor Mr. Ali Allah? DJ Khaled, because he's corrupt. He's out of there, y'all. Say goodbye. Saleh and Pompeo emphasize the extension of. Now, let's paint a picture. What I tell you guys the other day about Iraq siding with America to get what they want so we can get what we need. And I'm going to show you how it helps everybody. So, President of the Republic, Barham al-Saleh, and the U.S. Secretary of State, Pompeo, stressed the extension. So I told you the only way they were going to get an extension long-term on the gas and the electricity in Iraq is if Pompeo allowed them to sign on somebody that was going to dwarf the Siemens deal. I told you, didn't I say the other day? The Siemens deal was a little itty-bitty thing compared to what was about to happen, right, in Iraq, right? Mm-hmm. And the carrot, the actual stick in the carrot was oil and gas and how it's produced and how it's used to produce electricity. Remember, the war that is about to ensue in the region doesn't necessarily have to be about oil or the control of it. But what's more important about in that region is not just the oil, because it's already there. It's energy. Remember, he who controls the energy controls it all.
Controls it all?
In the Middle East, they surely do. So it was confirmed to extend the exception of Iraq from sanctions of Iran, as well not to escalate with it. So they told them, we will allow you and only you. They're the only one that got a waiver of exemption on Iran. Do you feel me? Now, do you know why they got it?
Why?
A newspaper reveals the U.S. deal to give Iraq an exemption. You want to know why? Because they just paid. Where is that article?
Who's cracking, baby?
They're about to pay ExxonMobil $50 billion.
Oh, did you mention that the other day?
53. Yes, I did. I called it. I told them the Siemens deal was going to seem minute compared to the ExxonMobil deal. Didn't I say that? How did I know it was ExxonMobil? A little birdie told me. And guess what else I told you?
That picture, what is it exactly?
It's exactly the nuclear fields that are in Iran and where they're located and how long they and what they do and how they do it. That's another bomb. No one else has showed you that. Now, why is that important? Because if you're going to go into war with a country, remember, we went into a war with Vietnam and didn't know how to fight them in their own battlefield. Now they know exactly what's where in Iran. And so in this war, it's going to be short-lived. China cut them loose because China's coming to the trade table this week to discuss that. Don't you think that China told them, hey, look, well, we've got this little issue with Iran because we import oil from them. So don't you think that America said, look, we're going to go ahead and liberate Iran, right? We're going to get rid of this regime. You're going to have your own little personal oil field to facilitate China for as long as you need. Long term, we're going to sign a deal with you. Don't you agree? Yes. So then all of a sudden you say, well, what's America doing in Venezuela? Venezuela's interest was with Russia. And that interest wasn't just about oil. It was more so about arms. What people don't understand about Venezuela and Russia is their whole deal was about selling arms to each other. Russia's broke. Remember, I told you that. So Russia got loans to sell to give to Venezuela. Venezuela accepts the loans. They use that money to buy back arms from Russia. So it's a shell game. It's a paper trace with Russia. They don't have any money. They're loaning money out there, getting back in loans to themselves. Now, here's the funny part. The oil that's in Venezuela is good, but it's not as good as other places, right? Mm-hmm. So here's the funny part. So they realize that you got to deal with these guys with arms. They tried to arm them to the teeth. They sold them billions and billions and billions in armament. But guess what? They didn't need it because the other person that was the biggest armament of Venezuela was who? Brazil. Now, that's another strategic point because the reason why Russia wanted a foothold in Venezuela is because of its propinquity. Remember that word, propinquity to America, right? Because they thought if they could get their foot in there. And so guess what America said? We're going to go ahead and intervene right here. We know that these guys owe you money, right? Mm-hmm. So what we're going to do is get your money back, right? So Russia, you're going to get your money back, right? But we're going to go ahead and step in. Now, what do you want out of this situation? Do you want your own little private trade partner for arms, or do you need oil and gas? Russia really doesn't need oil and gas, but I think because of the energy and how they could sell it off, I think that Russia went ahead and signed an agreement with America under the table. This is what I'm trying to tell you, under the table. So allow America to go in there and kick the current regime out. That stirs up Russia. That stirs up China. Now, if you're talking about Russia and China, especially Russia, you're talking about Iran. Iran, a company with Syria, right, was laundering money out of Iraq. So you know what America said? Hey, look, we know you stole enough money out of Iraq, right? I dig it, but you're going to have to stop it. Syria's on the watch. Iran's definitely on the watch. All that stop. But if you're going to get that, I'm going to give you this caveat, this little thing over here. It's called Venezuela. So you know what Russia said?
What?
You can have it. You want to know why? Because they already told, America already told everybody that if you allow whoever overthrows the new government, they will get sovereignty and they will allow them to be a part of the new regime. Now, you're going to say to me, Brandon, you already said that last week. I think you said it 2 days ago, right? But we know it's true because of the news that came out just the other day. Now, I'm going to show you guys real quick why China came to the table after Russia fell with Venezuela. It's all about trade, right? So Russia came because they needed a trade partner. That was Venezuela. To say imagine Russia being like Amazon and the Venezuela being like the trailer park. Venezuela's buying everything out the trailer park that they can get because they can't get nothing. No one will trade with Venezuela because Venezuela's bad. They're corrupt. They don't do right. They sell off their gold. They're crap, right? Now, they say, well, how the heck are we going to get China to the table? They tell China's got a vested interest in who? Iran. They just loaned them a bunch of money. So America goes to China and says, guess what? If you want to guarantee that money you're getting, and you want me to loosen up some of these tariffs that are about to double on Thursday, you get your butts to America and you negotiate your own deal. And how do you know that they comply? Because China says, we will give up our oil deal for our protection and relationship with the United States. Now you're going to say, well, duh, but guess what? China, because of those tariffs, China's foreign exchange reserves fell in April unexpectedly for the first time in 6 months. Isn't that a coinky dink? But the central bank's data showed on Tuesday that the decline of China's reserves, the largest in the world, came slightly down from 3.18 billion last month to 3.9 trillion. So they lost over $1 billion. Why? Because of tariffs. That's Trump. Now, the central bank also polled that Reuters had expected reserves to rise. So not only did they not get a surplus, but they got a decrease. Now, here's the other thing. Unexpectedly strong data in March predicted that the economy was slowly returning to stand on firmer ground, but it didn't. Unexpected escalation in trade tensions with Washington week put the yuan under renewed pressure and renewed concerns about China's growth. Now, China's growth comes with what? Iran's growth, because they're in cahoots together. What Russia and China does is they're like the World Bank. They go into these impoverished countries and say to you, hey, Miss April, you're not doing good. You look malnutrition. You can't feed your peoples. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to loan you some food, some money for food, okay?
Money?
Yeah, money. I'm going to loan you money, okay? You can pay us back, right? You got money, right? Well, you don't have no money, but that's okay. We're going to loan you this money anyway because it's a short-term fix. And guess what we're going to do? We're going to take over your country because we're going to default on your loans. That's what China did to Zimbabwe. Oh, it's cold-blooded. But that's what they do. That's why Zimbabwe's worthless. Worthless. Okay.
They got all that gold and they still work.
Worthless. Even though they own half of it. Now, you're going to say to me, well, Mr. Brando, that don't make a lot of sense what you're talking about right there because the yuan is constantly devaluing against the dollar. Yes, they are constantly devaluing against the dollar. But unexpectedly strong data in March predicted that the economy was going to come to returning to stand or firmer ground. But the yuan, under renewed pressure, failed. The yuan fell 0.3% against the dollar, while the dollar rose 2% against the yuan and the currency basket. Last year, the yuan retreated 5.3%. So if your country's already broke, and you keep retreating your currency to make it viable, right, to keep on trade, because that's the only thing you have to really balance out your whole economy with is trade. What do you think America told China when they're coming to the trade table? You've got to raise your rate, right? You got to come on the playing field. And number two, you've got to even out trade. So if you even out trade with America, don't you think they talked about Iran? And don't you think they talked about all those countries that China got sanctions under so that they could come out to a free market economy? Don't you think?
DJ Khaled?
Yes, they did. Now, why is Russia interested in Venezuela? The reason why Russia's interested in Venezuela is going to seem funny. The Kremlin's financial interest in Venezuela began deepening in 2013 when Igor Sechin, the CEO of Russian state oil company, announced plans to acquire Lukoil's assets in June 6. Now, when they did that, they basically bought in for they invested $13 billion in Venezuelan oil and gas. That's why Russia's interested in Venezuela, because they have cash flow ventured in there. They couldn't get their money out, so they sold them arms to get their money back out of it. Now that America stepped in and said, we're not going to allow you to have it, the reason why America is allowing them to help Russia is because they're helping Russia get their money out. That's why. Now, last but not least, the Bolivian Venezuela, the article of Russia's military industrial career, a journal popular with military officers of Russian armed forces. In the event of Venezuelan civil war, it was recommended that the Russian government provide military intelligence to the Bolivian government, establish alliances with the ALBA, and to assist proxy leftist militant forces such as the collectivos to maintain Bolivarian government power. So it was worked out between Venezuela and Russia long before that if something happened to the current regime, that Russia would take over. So the Americans stepping in and putting intervention in there just goes to show you that whatever was worked out with Venezuela was also worked out with China. So therefore, there will be a trade agreement being met this week or next week, and it will be in writing.
That's the news?
That's it.
James said you have some dong news for us?
Yeah, if the China trade agreement goes through, you're going to have all kinds of sick dong news.
Oh, okay. I thought there was something else.
No, there's no Tom news. You gotta understand. I just broke down the whole world right
No,
there.
I hear you. I hear you. I'm just trying to make sure I
Chris
collect
that.
the questions before they vanish. They vanish from.
Oh my God, y'all! Do you not understand? Everything that's worked out is going to work out because of why it's working out right now. Do you not see that? Nothing is not worked out. China's coming to America. Russia's playing ball with Venezuela. They sent the nuclear subs and the submarines to the Strait to guarantee the oil coming out. China's already said they'll forego the oil coming out of Iran, probably because they know they can get out of Venezuela and America to subsidize their oil needs. Don't you see what's going on? Iran's about to get executed, and that's going to lift the foothold out of Iraq, where they're going to feel comfortable to establish the right type of stability to release the dinar. And they don't have to pay them back because the ExxonMobil deal says all they got to do is pay for the Iranian oil and gas until they can pay for the stuff that ExxonMobil is going to set up for them. So ExxonMobil is going to work with Siemens about the natural gas, electricity, and everything else. They're going to be totally self-sufficient in a little while. I don't understand anything else that could create that much stability in the region, except for the whole fact that you know everything is fine. They're opening up the green zone in 2 more days. What does that tell you? That green zone hasn't been opened in so many years. If the green zone's open, that means everything else is good. Mm-hmm. There's nothing else. If the Financial Management Act gets voted on, and it gets voted in this week or next week, you got the Saudi businessmen there right now discussing opportunity. You got ExxonMobil deal, the largest deal in Iraq right now, $53 billion. It overshadowed the Siemens deal by $40+ billion. You got the whole Pompeo there. We know that Iraq's on board with getting rid of Iran. Mahani's no fool. He suckered him in. He rope-a-doped him. It's all good. We know what's happening. He did rope-a-dope him. He let him get he went in there and said, you can come in here and trade. You can come here and do this. It was short term, but he understood, I guess, what it was for his economy. He did what he had to do. Zim is dead. Who held the president of OPEC? I could look it up, but I don't know. Yeah, weeks or days is probably all that you have left, because if an escalation happens in Iran, it could prolong things. But I wouldn't think very long, because Iran's economy has nothing to do with Iraq's. Yes, Russia is the big Griffin. Thank you. Russia is the biggest scapegoat, and that's why I brought it into play with Venezuela. Thank you for the foresight to see that. Michelle said Iraq has to get their own power grids up, but no, they don't. Saudi Arabia already said that they were going to loan them some temporary power grids that would power most of the areas that were not able to be used. So Saudi Arabia was going to step in and help them. Yeah, the deal with Pompeo with Iraq to continue buying gas and power Iran, because they wanted to make sure that everybody got cool, but they're going to put those temporary places, those temporary sources, those generators in place so that they can get rid of that Iranian power. And that's when all hell's going to break loose. Well, as soon as they make sure that the Iraqi people are secure with energy for the summertime, that's when all heck's going to break loose in the Middle East. What do I know? What do you know about the Iranian Sheikh's son and the possibility of him having a following and then return to monarch? Well, Babe kind of gave me the whole thing on that. Babe said that they were already grooming those people in America for years, and I believe it, because you got to understand, most Middle Eastern people, whether they're doctors, lawyers, whatever, they're schooled over here in America, and they're sent back over to their own countries to rule and to help give them some type of educational, you know what I mean, whatever. They don't study so much until they're much older in their own country. They study abroad. Mm-hmm. China on board, that will be big. How will it affect Asian countries' business? China's on board definitely, because they're coming to America to settle up, because they know on Friday that if not, their economy is already crumbling. if they get hit with another 25%, $200 million a day, all that's going to happen is that we don't need them to feed us. We could buy American products. You could actually shut off the trade with China if you just bought American goods and probably sustain the dollar at the level it is now. And with no fear of the petrodollar being dumped because it's the only stable thing on the marketplace. You see what I'm saying? What are you going to run to? The Russian ruble, the sterling pound is up in arms because of Brexit. You got the yuan, which is trash because it's devaluing. So when everybody ever comes to me, the SDR basket, the SDR basket, when you look at 3 out of the 4 people that are in that basket, all of their currencies going in the crapper because of the economy, you really don't have a lot of justification for me telling you that I want the dollar between 80 cents and about 92 cents. If the dollar at that range, anything is possible. Hello?
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Hello?
Hello.
Hey, how you doing? You're live.
What do you think is going to happen, man? When are we going to go to the bank? No, I'm just kidding. Listen, you guys. All we have to do is be patient. You know, what's going to be is going to be, but it's right before our eyes. All we have to do is do our due diligence and read. That's all, and understand what we're reading. It's moving forward.
And it's actually moving forward at a faster pace than I've probably seen in months. Seriously.
Yes.
I haven't seen this much news in months.
I'm enjoying what I'm seeing. I love what I'm seeing. I just can't wait. You know what I'm saying? I'm ready to go to Vegas, so we all can just meet up in Vegas.
Yeah, when we go to Vegas, it's going to be nothing but a huge party. That's all it's going to be.
Absolutely. Okay, well, I just wanted to say hello, and you're doing great news, Brando.
And thank you. Who's this?
This is Link.
I know who this is.
Yeah,
okay.
I got you.
Well, Link Bear, yeah, that's me. I told you I had some bombs. You didn't see that Russia coming, did you?
No, I didn't see that one. I didn't.
Russia, I'm telling y'all. Man, y'all don't understand the importance of the geopolitical scene. When Russia, when they signed on, and when China told you they were coming to America, they basically told you that both those countries.
I'm going to finish listening.
All right, bye, Link. Bye. Bye. They basically said Iran is on their own. Now, if Iran's on their own, that leaves total open invitement on Maliki's behind, especially if those forces are kicked out of there. Do you not see the stability kicking in? Oh my gosh. Zim will go one day, but just not with the notes we hold.
So when you say that, what you mean? Not with the notes we hold. They're trash.
Yeah, they're trash. The bomb notes are garbage. They retired them. They're gone. So if I took them to a bank, they'd have to uncommission them, reissue them. What's the odds of that happening?
So remember though, it's a bond note, right? So we don't get nothing for that.
Well, it's a myth. It's kind of like, like know your customer, I would say know your facts. Everybody thought you couldn't decommission a bond note, but they did.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, I'm just trying to understand.
Preach, Pastor Brandon. Okay. I wasn't going to go here, but I'm going to go here. So let's talk worst case scenario. I was going to say this for my rant. No, I'm going to save it for a rant. I'm not going to give you worst case scenario because it's too late. Let's talk best case scenario. Okay?
Okay.
Best case scenario is this. Iran sees that there's no way out of this. They say they'll play ball. They allow everything to change. They'll get their foot out of Iraq and blah, blah, blah. Everything changes. And you're looking at a few days and then you see a rate change. Okay? I'll go over worst case scenario tomorrow.
Okay.
Let's talk about China trade.
Okay.
Best case scenario, they come over here. They say, look, we're going to play ball. Everything's hunky-dory. We go forward, right?
Right.
I'll go over worst case scenario tomorrow. Russia decides that they want Iraq, or they don't want Iraq. They want Venezuela. And from my friend, Mr. Frazier, he says that the Venezuelan oil is not that great of oil.
Really?
Yeah, he says it's like really hard to develop and all this stuff. So it really is odd that Russia, who is already an oil powerhouse, would want anything to do with their energy. They didn't. They want everything to do with their trade for arms, which arms are way more lucrative than bullets are way more lucrative than oil.
Crypto, yeah, that's me.
They say cryptos are going to rise. I'm not going.
It actually went up. It's at 6,000 right now, and I'm doing a thumbnail to show you what my Coinbase looked like, our coin app looked like on March 15th, and what it looked like today. And I just sold off my Bitcoin, my little fraction.
What's up, Jason?
So are we going to plan this trip to Vegas like now?
Okay, we can plan the trip to Vegas on Friday night's video. You'll either plan it or we'll postpone it. I'm telling you right now. Think about it. Think about everything you'll know. You'll know exactly what's going to happen in the Gulf, right? You'll know exactly what's going to happen with China trade. And we'll know exactly what's going to happen with Maduro sitting there in Venezuela by Friday.
Oh, yeah. Trust me. You got me. I almost wanted to, roll on the floor laughing over here because you're on a roll.
Right? I mean, for real. Like, when you think about it, it's like if the stars could have aligned any better. And I'm going to say this. This person that's why I don't even comment. I'm sorry, y'all, on the comments. If y'all don't comment, don't worry. I don't even comment no more because I saw some hater comments on there talking about pumper. This is a pumper. Well, what am I pumping? I'm not selling anything. I'm only buying. I'm a buyer. I'm a umper. I'm not a pumper. Number two, if this is BS, then read the news and you decipher it differently and you tell me. Right?
Yeah, exactly. So they're not paying attention to what we're paying attention to.
And I was ultra critical of Obama and I'm super critical of Trump. Okay? I don't believe in that faction of government, the United States president, like that. Obama was let down, and Trump had a lot to gain for me. I'm not all the way a fan because of some of the moral things he's done, but as far as the chess play that he's doing, I'm gonna say, sir, I thought you were a ballless orange man, but you are cojones made of steel, and if you really do put 25% more on China, sanction Iran more, and bring Venezuela to the table, sir, I bid you good morning. I'll bring you coffee. Because he's putting this investment right where I wanted to see it. And the funny thing is, Venezuela's not saying anything crazy. China's coming over, right? So there's nothing wrong. They didn't say no because they're coming. And on the backside that Russia was cool with it because there was no escalation in Russia. So everything he's doing is coming to fruition. Whether you're a Trump fan or not a Trump fan, you got to say, hats off, old boy. You're doing pretty freaking good.
Oh, boy.
Yes.
For real. I'm not a fan at all. Like, I'm super critical. But this dude is like, he's playing chess. And these other...
Not checkers. Huh?
No. Listen, he's got North Korea running. And North Korea just issued a statement to somebody else. And they were like, don't play with this man. We agree with America. I'm like, dude, for real? You're like John King on. Like, you're like ultra badass little dude. But he's like, no, this dude ain't playing. I'm not a suck up. I'm like, dude, I'm like, for real. I was like waiting for one of these guys to really shoot this dude the finger, and it ain't happened. No one's tried this dude yet.
Here's the other thing that, is, and take it a step further, that you can, the obvious just happened when in Iraq, they just had their weekly meeting. And they did discuss this, you know, when Mahdi shared everything this past Tuesday, or I guess it was or Wednesday, you know, they did discuss the Exxon, you know, Mobil / China petrol deal to build. It's like there's, oh my gosh, it's out in the open. It's plain and simple how China's involved in this, and if people can't see that, then you're seriously not really going in the right direction.
China told Iraq. China basically told Iraq, I'm cool with everything. We're going to use the dinar as a derivative to fund the whole Silk Road. We're cool with that. The article substantiated. Just let us get this little oil from Iran, and we're good to go. We don't care. We weren't laundering money out of Syria like Russia was. We're cool.
Did you see the dollar amount for that one too? I couldn't stop smiling.
Man.
Especially for the ExxonMobil deal, I was like, oh my god.
And is it no surprise that the ExxonMobil deal is 4 times the amount of the Siemens deal? And I would have thought that electricity would have been worth a little bit more than that. Just saying. And it's already approaching. Is this May? Is this about the May?
May 8th.
May 8th. June is coming. June gonna come, and that's gonna be hot in the desert.
Here, Mr. B, and check this out. This is the cool thing, and like I said, I'm glad you said it today because I'm watching it. I'm watching it like a hawk. They are prepping everything to start that project, that power project, Siemens. But like you said, they're also moving quick with the ExxonMobil deal. They're moving even faster on that one.
Mm-hmm.
So, like you said, everything's all coming together. All the puzzle pieces are all laid out, and all of them are just getting ready to snap all into place to make the big picture.
And remember, 2 weeks ago, they went to Saudi Arabia, and they got the temporary generators to facilitate the electricity in the areas that they thought were going to be in question, as well as fund those electricity generators for the stadium and the sports city or whatever they call it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they're building that right away because there's a lot of sporting events, and this is how I know one of these things is because Guam is actually getting ready to participate in a lot of, you know, soccer / football events over there.
Mm-hmm. Amazing.
So why would we want to be going anywhere? You know, that's crazy.
And be uncomfortable.
Okay? And you're right. Here's the other thing on that note with the power generation from Saudi Arabia. They're hooking up lines right now, whatever they can, because they're getting it set up. Saudi is, like you said, they're coming to help.
They're like the life preserver, because that's why they're not in a rush. That's why I told you guys the other day, they're voting on committee people. They're not worried about the people that are going to seat in those positions. They're basically already figured out. They were trying to get the committees and the people filled in and all the bureaucracy and get their brother hired and their uncles hired and whatever hired, because they already knew that everything was in the way, because they knew they had life preservers in the wake of all the unrest. Because if you look at the Middle East right now, you'd be like, well, dang, there's a lot of turmoil. There's a lot of bad things going on. They're not in a position to do anything. But if you look at it, they're calmer now than they have been in years. And that's why they said in a couple of days they're going to open up the green zone, which hadn't been open in 15 years. So why would they open the green zone, huh? And they're worried about Iraq or Iran, huh? Because they're not worried about Iran. And that's why they didn't close the U.S. Embassy. If you would have seen the sign of the U.S. Embassy being closed in Iraq, then you knew that the war was going to be worse than what they anticipated it to be. But it wasn't.
Yep. Exactly. Everybody's not like what we have been talking about for the past few weeks. They're not looking at the bigger picture of how this is playing out. You know, the green zone, like you said, is getting ready to open. They need to open them because, you know, it's private banking needs to be open. Their commerce it's going to be open.
Hold on.
Businesses are going to be open.
Hold on. Remember this about ExxonMobil coming in to help Iraq out with the oil and gas and as far as energy. For every person that they hire for that company to work in Iraq, they have to hire at least 50% Iraqi. So don't you think a project that large is going to actually help with the unemployment?
Of course it is. definitely going to.
See, that's the stuff y'all don't see. By them signing that deal, just like Siemens, they got to hire 50% Iraqi. Just like that Chinese oil that's coming in there, they've got to hire 50% Iraqi. Do you guys not see they're trying to eliminate unemployment as you understand it? Remember, unemployment and inflation run hand in hand. So the more people you got working, the more people pay taxes, the more better you are. It gets people off of the budget and on the private sector. And that's why when I said they inked that deal today, they could darn near almost stop the auctions because they know they've got a replacement for the economy as the way it sits right now. If they were going to do it, now's as good a time as any. Because, I mean, why not? I mean, it's either they're going to do it when they do it or do it when they don't do it. I mean, when you're going to do it. The auctions are on their way out. My opinion, I can't predict that.
And remember, there were even articles that were put out that the IMF is also chiming in as well as the WTO to, they're trying to boost that back to like, hey, come on, hurry up and get this done so that you guys can boost your economy. Because then that pushes them further away from Iran.
Hold on real quick. Uncle Luke?
Hey, I might have opened up Pandora's box.
Go ahead and open it.
Well, okay, so look, we were talking about the Zim. Who were you just talking? Was that Jason again, or who was that?
It's Jason.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it is. Oh, you want to take him in? Is he still there?
Mm-hmm.
He's still on the line. Say hi.
Can you hear me? Yep. Jason? Okay. Yes, so people are saying, they're asking me and in the chat room, hey, have I heard anything about the Zim? Here's what I found. I went to the exchange. I can tell you this: 1 million ZWD dollars, Zimbabwe dollars, is worth $2,763 USD dollars. Now, I don't know what the value exchange rate was before, okay? But that's where it is now. So if that's higher than it was before, then yes, it went up. But if I'm not mistaken, the dinar actually had more value than the Zim. So if this is right, that means the Zimbabwe dollars are now more valuable than the dinar notes. For all you Zim people, you know better than I do.
Okay, but here's the problem. The Zim notes you hold aren't the Zim notes that just came out. They're Zim notes that have been retired. So unless you hold up-to-date current Zimbabwe notes off the stuff that just got issued, then what you hold is worthless.
Yeah, to look into that is what I would do if I was you guys.
I don't have to. I already know. Zimbabwe, the bond notes from 2008 to 2009 have been decommissioned. I can put it up 2 seconds.
So is it safe to say this, that anything after, if you bought anything after 2009, you're good? But if you have anything older than that, you might be...
No, if you haven't bought anything like 2016, those $2 notes, you're screwed. You're out of the game.
So Pepe, do you recall that they were asking people to turn in their old notes?
Right.
When this was recently, and you had to have a certain type of bank account, right?
Right.
Yeah.
That's dead. Y'all, leave Zim alone.
Yeah, you guys, I didn't jump on that Zim wagon because I thought it was too soon. I know that Trump put sanctions on them for a year and told them they had to liquidate all their bonds, and they were doing it super quick. So when somebody said, hey, is it possible? I was like, dang, did they do it that quick? Maybe they did. But I looked and I said, okay, so here's where we are right now. But there's a weird thing going on with these currencies. You see with Venezuela, them wanting to do something with their currency as well right now with the bad regime in there. So yeah, I don't want to say too much. Me and you talked about this. I have a feeling what's going on. I don't want to mislead or upset people in any way, shape, or form. They all seem to be heading in the same direction. You know what I mean? They
do, dude. Yeah. Listen, okay. Let's look at it like this. Let's say you're going to invest in Venezuela right now. You're going to jump in. Okay. And
I would say, no, don't do it.
I would say, no, wait till it lobs. It's going to lob. Okay. It's going to lob.
Wait till it lobs. Wait till the new regime gets in there.
Right.
Because if the old regime is still in there,
don't buy it.
Think for a second that they didn't steal a lot of money. So when the new regime gets in there, they know the old regime did this. So what they need to do is just cancel out the currency
because this way, then the old currency has no value. So whatever is stolen is no longer any good.
That's
so the
called
new currency comes in. That's why I tell people, don't do anything with Venezuela. Not yet. But you guys are on the right track, though.
right.
Keep an eye on Venezuela.
Keep your eye on Venezuela. Keep your eye on the sterling pound. Keep your eye on North Korea. Okay? Keep your eye on the India rupiah.
Dude, keep your eye on Iran, too.
Iran, keep your eye on Iran. My eye's not off Iran. Iran's in play. I don't care what anybody says. Now, they're not in play with the current currency, but they're in play with what's going to happen after this escalation. Whatever happens after this escalation, you'll know something big. You'll be on track. Matter of fact, I'll tell you this. If you want to say it to this degree, because Iran, I think their sanctions will be lifted so fast that if you had the right situation and you could purchase their currency, you'd probably have a bigger windfall in Iran than you would Vietnam.
Oh, yeah. I don't know about, I don't know. No, the Vietnam economy is already kickstarted, is way ahead of Iraq. So, that might be a reach. I like the dong, I ain't gonna lie, but I think the China deal is holding it up. Once that deal's done, you might see that go right away. Because China's holding sanctions on Vietnam. So I'm more than positive Trump's telling me you're gonna have to lift that. Because Trump has been using him as his gold star, you know what I mean?
I'll tell you guys both this too right now. You guys think I'm crazy. I'd actually like to buy some yen. I think yen's in play.
2 seconds, Randy. I got to say this real quick. Hey, Miss April?
Yes.
6,055.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you guys, your Bitcoin trash. You crypto heads.
I already sold mine.
Get off my channel with your crypto crap.
But go back to what you were saying. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. My bad.
Okay. Now, I'm all about the crypto too, y'all. Don't get me wrong. I'm going to buy me some Bitcoin in a few minutes. But what I'm trying to tell you guys is don't sleep on Iran. Don't sleep on yuan. I don't think you should sleep on yuan at all. I think yuan is like so much in play like in the next 45 days. Mm-hmm. I wish I had like 5,000 to throw at yuan. I think they're going to raise their currency like threefold like in the next 45 days. That's my personal opinion.
Well, you and I talked about this, what's going on with Venezuela and what's going on over there in Iran. If we are right about what we're talking about, you can expect the currencies both in Russia and China to really change.
Yeah. Especially China. I love China right now.
They're a huge threat to us. People don't understand that the trade talk is not really about trade. There's a lot of crap that, whether you're into, it's not conspiracy, whether you're supporter of Democrats, I'm sorry, you're not going to like this, but there's a lot of crap that happened between the Democrats doing some real scandalous trader crap with China, is what they did. So I have no doubt that Trump is saying, look, part of this deal is you're going to have to sell these people out because they are traitors to our company, and you're going to need to, traitors to our country, you're going to need to fork them over. I have no doubt that's what the real holdup is. Now, for those of you that are unaware, it's a long story. I won't explain it, but just know that right now, I think that's what, in my opinion, that's what the real holdup is with China. Their reluctancy to give these people up.
In my opinion, I'll give you my 3 cents. I think that Jason, you okay?
Yes, sir.
Jason's running his business too.
About his business.
He mind his business. I think China's big time in play. I think Brexit big time in play. I think India's big time in play. I think Iraq is still big time in play. Now, how long do you have? I can't call it. But I think that if you take your eye off the ball at this point, it's the difference between coming up a couple 100,000, whatever, and a couple million. I really do.
I should go give me
Well,
$1 million.
just like what Pompeo
Dong?
was saying,
Yeah, you should.
The dog,
I don't want to give you the money for it. I'd give you the money for
What'd
it.
you say, Jason? I missed that.
like what you're saying, the dong is gonna go. It's
Yeah.
exactly like what you're saying.
I just told Miss
Oh,
BB
yeah.
I'd give her money to go buy Yan and Dong right now. Seriously.
Well, that's fine. As long as you're dong, don't young, you're all good.
No, as long as my Yong stay Dong.
Y'all are crazy.
Well, you guys, look, we are at the whole hour mark. There's been a lot of chat going on, and I got two of the best the currency guys, two of the best currency with a K guys in the business with Jason the Body and with Uncle Luke, Mr. Pempe. I don't know what to tell you guys. Look out for my rant tomorrow afternoon on YouTube, and look out for my rant also on Patreon. I'm going to connect the dots in depthly. And you guys, it's been a hell of a night, and I appreciate you guys taking time out to be with us. Miss Vivi, you want to say goodnight?
Good night, y'all.
She's
Hey,
so
Mr.
sad.
B, real quick on closing. Now, there's a lot of Zim fans out there looking into the Zim. If you guys find out different than what
Prove us wrong. Prove me wrong.
then let us know. Let everybody know.
Yeah,
If you
please.
find
I
out
hold
that they're
Zim.
taking those old currencies, by all means, please let everybody else know. Share the love. Everybody would appreciate that.
Understand this. I'm a Zimbabwe hater right now, but I hold a bunch of Zim. I probably hold more Zim than most of you guys. So if you can prove me wrong where I can believe back in Zim, let me know, please. All right, y'all. Well, we've had a bunch of bombs. We had a bunch of fun.
Hey, Miss Phoebe. Hey, Miss April.
Yeah.
$6,107.
Keep your crypto trash off my TV.
Oh, no, I'm getting really good at reading cryptocurrency. She knows what I'm talking about.
Well, get in my Telegram group and give me some predictions. I will talk to you guys later.
Everybody have a good night.
Have a great night. Bye, y'all.